Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X, NGR's Radio Xbox podcast. As always, we throw up the X. Yes, because we are about to throw down. And we throw up the mini X. Wow. I am your host, Eddie V. Joining me, Corey. Make sure that I am pointing at the right time, at the right person. Because every time I was like, all right, it's Wisconsin, and then I'll point to like you. It did.
Just do this, then you can't go wrong.
Jesse, and if you're watching the video, Jesse's on the right, Ed's in the middle, and Corey's on the left.
Okay, so now that I'm on here, I must be pointing at you still.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, I need. Okay.
In case you guys were wondering, we don't do this in a room together. We use the internet. love the internet.
Yes. Joining me is my wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas. Hello, good sir.
Hey. The subtle. Well, hello there, sir.
Yes. And of course, it's Bossman himself from the NGR Radio headquarters, Mr. Corey Dirrig.
It's me. I'm drinking water because I figured since we recorded 3 episodes today, 3 monsters in a 4-hour period was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Flush all the toxins from your system.
Yeah. I don't want my pee to be neon green when I go next.
Why not? It's fun in the black light.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
You know, the scary thing is that Jesse knows too much about this, and we're just
yeah. Yep.
Well, I've been drinking Monster as my main liquid intake since it came out.
Wow.
That's why I got a tattoo of the Monster.
Oh boy.
Yes. Thank you everybody for joining us. We're just having our regular old shenanigans, but we're going to get back into the show. As always, we're going to start off in what's been in our arsenal. So, Corey, I'm going to start with you. What's been in your arsenal, dude?
Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to talk about the games that I've been playing that are available on Xbox, but I haven't necessarily been playing them on Xbox. I'm sorry, guys. I've been playing Super Meat Boy. And let me tell you what, man, that game is fantastic. I've been trying to A+ every level. I've played that game for 5 hours now. I'm only on the 3rd world because I keep trying to A+ every level, and I refuse to move on. I refuse to move on until I get that A+ on that level. And so I've been playing a lot of that. I love Super Meat Boy, but this week, I found a game. Well, I didn't find the game. I heard about it on the Nintendo Direct Mini that was on the 11th. Celeste. If you are a fan of Super Meat Boy at all, Celeste you need to play Celeste. It is like,
yes.
Dude, this game it's got beautiful animations. It's got beautiful art. It's got beautiful mechanics. The one complaint I have about Super Meat Boy is that it's really floaty. Like, Super Meat Boy feels floaty sometimes. And Celeste has, like, the only other controls I can compare it to is, like, a really good Mario game. With a dash mechanic. And it is fantastic. I've fallen in love with this game. It is the first game I've put on my official 2018 Game of the Year selection. Like, it is
nice.
It's on my, like, I mean, I know it's only the 4th week of the year, but on my 2018 games I think might be Game of the Year, Celeste is the first one, and I think it's going to remain at the top for a while. It's that good. The music is great. The mechanics are great. The characters are funny. It's a platformer that's trying to tell a story. And like I got to this camp. I forgot to mention this on Pal Block, but I got to this campsite, and there's just this guy hanging outside of this tent and this bonfire, and you like start a conversation with him, and then when the conversation ends, every time you go back, like it's kind of like not branching conversations, but like one conversation ends, and then when you talk to him again, a different conversation starts. And then as soon as like the last thing, he just yells YOLO really loud when you're telling him about climbing this mountains to conquer your demons. And he's just like, he just yells it like really loud. He's like YOLO, and it's like in text, but you can tell he's yelling because it's shaking and everything. So it was really funny. And I was stuck in this room until about 5 seconds ago before we started recording. I got to this point where, so the story of the game, you're playing this character Madeline, and she's fighting like inner demons, and to fight her inner demons, she decides to climb the mountain Celeste. So like you're climbing the mountain, and I got to the first point where you're fighting an inner demon, and it chases you through this really hard section of the map. And like you're going through, and you get to this room where there's no exit, and the entrance you came in from is shut off. And there's 4 blue lights, and then once you activate the four of them, the 5th one goes off and unlocks the door to the next area. And last night I probably tried it like probably 30 or 40 times. And I was like, I'm so tired. I cannot do this right now. And I, like, right before we started recording, I did it on my second try. I'm like, holy crap, I just did it. And I can't wait to talk about it on the podcast. And now I'm on to the next area. So, man, it is a good game. If you're listening to this, I assume you own an Xbox One or a PC. Like, buy this game. This is a must buy for like 2D platforming fans of Super Meat Boy. Like, I know it's getting perfect scores, and so far it's well deserving of some of those perfect scores. Like, the music's great, the mechanics are great, the level design is great, the pixel art is fantastic. So Celeste is the game. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Also, next, like in the coming weeks, I want to get. I'm preparing my Xbox. I'm preparing my Xbox for Xbox centric stuff. So like,
yes,
I have like I already have Master Chief Collection and Halo 5 and Gears of War 4 downloaded on my Xbox. Right now, I have Rainbow Six Siege, which I have Rainbow Six Siege. God, I hate both of you. Oh, wow. That's a different kind of X. Jesse's getting X-rated over there. But anyways, I have right now on my Xbox, I have Rainbow Six Siege, I have Gears of War 4, Halo 5. I currently re-downloaded The Division because I want to play that again.
Did you finish it, Corey?
Did I finish? I finished on PlayStation, but I got it on Xbox because a bunch of my friends are playing it on Xbox.
Yeah.
So I have it there. Destiny 2 is still on my Xbox. I don't really know why. I'm not really planning on going back to it, but
and Jesse, you have The Division also, right? On Xbox?
Yeah, I've been kind of wanting to get back into it, but I'd rather, it's one of those games where I haven't really gotten to enjoy playing it with other people yet. And I think if we all were to get together and play it, I'd definitely enjoy it a lot more. Like, I mean, I like the game, but I would enjoy it more that way, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's set a date for that one because I haven't. I kind of want to go through.
Maybe next weekend we can try to do something.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yes.
So, because Saturday, I'm going out of town during the day, but I'm off that night. So, maybe we can try to do something by then.
Yes.
Okay.
What else do I have on there? And I'm prepping for Sea of Thieves and like GamePass specifically. Like I'm trying to get my Xbox multiplayer Arsenal X. Oh my gosh, you got a pirate hat too. I'm really prepping the multiplayer aspect of my Xbox so we can finally start doing stuff together. So, yeah, that's kind of where my Xbox is at right now. Multiplayer
Nice.
centric. So,
All right. For me, I'm going to jump in with what I've been playing. Once again, everybody, I ignore my Xbox, but I have a purpose. Play Uncharted 4, the Lost Legacy DLC. Finished that in 2 days. It's around 8 hours worth of playtime. It still has some problems. It's an Uncharted game, unfortunately. But I enjoy Chloe and Nadine's adventure. I enjoyed the story. The gunfights are still a terrible mess in that game. Still looks beautiful. I could see Uncharted 5 featuring these two characters, like them taking over for the series.
you don't think Uncharted would be like, you don't think whatever Uncharted 5 is, even though I don't think Uncharted 5 is coming like anytime soon, but you don't think that would be featuring the character that's at the end of Uncharted 4? No spoilers, because it's kind of important to some PlayStation fans, I guess.
And no, it doesn't need that character.
You don't think it would feature the Drake's brother? What's his name? Sam?
He because of the DLC, he'll probably be in it. I will leave it at that. But
not that like I'm opposed to having Nadine and Chloe specifically. I would love to have a whole Uncharted series surrounding Chloe. I think she's a fascinating character. But like, you know, I honestly like in terms of
I hold on before you go because reason why I don't really want you to mention anything because I don't know how far you are in the game. So that's why I don't want to mention a particular thing. So that's why I said we're Uncharted 5 in this DLC. All right, Jay-Z. So,
anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I kind of unless you got to a certain point in the Lost Legacy, that's why I don't want to bring it up because I don't know how far you got into the game.
No, I haven't gotten very far at all. But like in terms of what I played, like I liked it better than anything I played in Uncharted 4.
Yes, I will agree.
But like when I started playing it, like there was so much. We had talked about Uncharted 4 for so long, and like, you know, friend of the show Ray Osorio, like he loves Uncharted, and like for some weird reason, Uncharted was just around everywhere, and I was so tired of hearing about it that like when I finally got around to playing Lost Legacy, I was like, I don't want more Uncharted right now. Like I'm tired of Uncharted, but like at the same time, it's like I thought it was better than what I played of Uncharted 4 because like I personally I think Uncharted 4 is like, despite how great it looks and how like amazing the tech is in that game, like I just don't think Uncharted 4 is 2 and 3 are way better games than Uncharted 4. I would still put Uncharted 4 at like Uncharted 1 levels of like how much I enjoyed it. We know how you feel about Uncharted. I'm telling my Uncharted feelings right now, Ed.
I respect your feelings. I'm leaving it at that.
I was just saying that I think Uncharted 2 is definitely the best Uncharted game, and Lost Legacy was giving me the feelings of how I felt when I was playing Uncharted 2. As Edward slowly crunches a chip, so he doesn't pick it up on his.
It's actually a meatball from a sausage from a pizza.
Oh, well, whatever. It's all the same thing. It's all the same garbage, and it all comes out brown. So,
pretty much, yeah.
Unless you're sick, then it's probably green or runny or something. I don't know.
Well, or unless you eat the Black Burger Octopus Ink one buzz from Burger King.
No, gross.
Then it's
actually
blue
good.
or purple.
Yeah, they're actually good. They taste like a Whopper. You don't even taste like anything. This just black bread. That's it. But yeah, I put a lot of time into that game. It was good. Moved on to Yakuza 0. Having fun with that. Kind of trying to get get more to that. I do want to visit Rare Replay for Xbox One. I'm just going to probably start doing what you're doing, Corey, lining up some games because I got a big backlog on my Xbox One, and I really need to finish it because what's going to end up happening is I'm going to look at DMC or Rise of the Tomb Raider and pop it in and be like, okay, let me just play this because I need something to play. And I got tons of games on like Oceanhorn I need to finish on my Xbox One. I need to finish Ori and the Blind Forest. And Oxenfree, I gotta finish Oxenfree. I think that's gonna be the game that I need to finish. I'm getting yelled at about Oxenfree, so that's why.
Why are you getting yelled at about Oxenfree?
Because I haven't finished it.
Oh my
and
gosh, dude, I don't even know. I don't understand that game. I don't understand why everybody has such a hard on for that game. Sorry.
It's a game that I need to play and finish. I need to work on. You Lost Odyssey and Black Dragon. Yeah. Blue Dragon, not Black Dragon. Dang.
Jeez.
I've been getting like titles of games wrong. Just if you watched Nintendo Power Block, I said Dragon Ball Quest. Dragon Quest instead of Dragon Quest.
These all sound like really bad porn parodies.
Yeah, Quest Ball Builders.
Yeah.
Black Dragon. Man.
Someone Photoshop. We got some people who out there. Who
please don't Photoshop Black Dragon. I don't want to know what that porn parody is like.
It's probably like a kung fu movie or something, like for the $2 bin.
Oh, jeez.
It's a Negro martial artist.
Do you want me to Photoshop Black Dragon for you, Jed?
Yeah.
It's not fire, it's spitting.
Yes.
Yep. Hope parents aren't listening to this show with their kids around.
It's water. It's water, kids.
It's water. It's a water gun.
It's just a super soaker.
Right. I've been playing a lot of Switch games, so Graceful Explosion Machine. Beginning to far into that. Just love that arcade action. Love just dying so I could replay that level so I could be better at it. Just like, yes, I'm frustrated. I feel frustrated, but I'll get it this time, and I keep getting, and I'll do it, and I beat it, and it's just a great feeling that yes, I beat you phase. Now on to the next phase. So I'm enjoying that and the challenge that they're on. Kind of love the punishment. Just really love it. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've been playing. Trying to get my characters up to level 80 before I finish that game. Just only on chapter 4, so I got 6 more to go. But enjoy everything about that. As I mentioned, that I did pick up Lost Sphere. Started playing that. It is a mix between Io Setsuna and the Chrono Trigger, and it is good. I'm not going to knock it. It is pretty good. I'm still like in the intro part to it. And kind of like this battle system where in Chrono Trigger you of course you met the enemy and you just went in an attack and stuff. But in this one, when you meet the enemies, you could whatever character that you're playing, you can move around, and then with your left trigger, and then your right trigger on your Switch is for like this red little dot to select the characters that you own. Like you could walk up to them, or if you're a melee, if you have a melee attack, or if you have a long distance attack, you are able to move around so you can line up your shot and hit multiple enemies with that one attack. So it's really fun. Just really cool. It will remind you of Aya Setsuna, and it kind of feel like that, like they copy and paste Aya Setsuna and just change some things. But it's a really good game. I am really enjoying that game. I do plan to get Monster Hunter World for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, because I want to play with you guys and other people around the world. Not you, Corey and Jesse, but for you listeners. Well, for you listeners and you viewers, if you did pick it up for Xbox One, I do want to play with you. Or if you didn't pick it up for Xbox, but you have for PlayStation 4, I also want to play with you guys. So I planned on doing that. So that's what's been in my arsenal. But I'm going to head it up to Jesse because he got some great games that he's played for his arsenal. And I kind of want you to start with your. I want to start with your two main ones that you've been playing, and then end it with the special game that you've been playing.
Yeah, I actually did. I remembered I also played earlier this week. I did go back and because Super Meat Boy is backwards compatible from 360. So I did play that a little bit, and I'm kind of like you, Corey. Like I didn't get very far in the game because I wanted to just get everything, and like it does like almost feel like the ice levels in Mario, like where you're kind of like slide easily like along the ground, like when you're running,
Yeah.
or rolling in his case or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. I mean it's like it's definitely something I'd have to get used to yet because I typically don't get into games that are like that kind of too floaty feeling, but it's just because I'm just not used to it. But it really is a decent game though. Like I did enjoy it. I played it a little bit, but I just had other things that I wanted to put more time into this week. So, but I played that, and then I played my friend brought over his 1X, and I played some PUBG on that the other day, and I really like that game a lot. I like Fortnite's battle royale mode, but I do like I like the PUBG better over it only because I like the whole idea of like it's kind of feels like playing almost like a Battlefield game, but you're picking up your parts and your guns instead of just starting out with them. So like I like the whole idea of like being able to get pieces for like attachments and stuff for the guns, and being able to kind of just upgrade certain things, or like your backpack you can upgrade to hold more ammunition. And I like the whole idea that like you have vehicles and they start out with gas in them, but you can also pick up gas cans that if your vehicle runs out of gas, you can fill it back up again with a gas can. And I don't know, I just like everything about it. I just really like the setup of the map and everything too is really nice. Like I like how it has open areas, but they usually try to put a lot of trees or things that you can kind of get cover behind in areas. So then it's not like you're completely just running out in the middle of the open, and which I mean, you do kind of have areas like that, but it's usually I feel like they were kind of hilly. So it wasn't like you had just a straight shot, at anyone trying to run in an open area. So yeah, I mean, I played that a little bit, and I did really enjoy it, and I probably will pick it up, probably pretty soon, just because they did fix a lot of the issues, it seemed like, so I didn't really notice any, like, really, aggravating issues that would make me not want to play it. So, like,
quick question. When you die in that, or because don't you get one chance to get like revive or anything like once you go down?
Yeah, you can get revived from a friend or whatever. If they're close by, kind of like Battle Royale was. So there's like a time like where you're kind of bleeding out or whatever until you get helped, or otherwise if someone starts shooting you and finishes you off. So it's like almost everything in the game is basically exactly like Battle Royale. The only difference is Battle Royale you can build stuff for cover, and PUBG you can get attachments and kind of things to alter your weapons to try to make them better or whatever. Like, I mean, like Fortnite's kind of way around that was giving you like you could pick up the same gun, but it could be a different, like it would be better or whatever. Like I think they're
have different stats.
yeah, each color I think was a like a different stat or something like that. I don't quite know for sure. I never really did look much into that, like which colors I want to pick up. I just would basically pick up whatever and just go out and try to survive. But
And one last question. If you die, do you have to stay there and watch the whole match, or can you start a whole new game with everybody else?
yeah, no, you if you wanted to, you can stay and watch, but just like Fortnite, just like the Battle Royale mode for Fortnite, you just hold down, I think, the B button, and then you can exit back to the main menu and start a new match right away. So
Okay.
I mean, it's quick pace. It's boom, like a second that you die, you can just quick start up another one, and and both games are kind of have that same, like if your buddy is still playing, well then obviously you can just stay and watch until he's done. I mean, I think you could just exit back to the main menu and wait for your friend to be done, but obviously if you're playing together, you usually want to just wait, but yeah, like, cause me and my friend just played as a duo or whatever, and just the two of us kind of worked together to try to survive. Like we would each take different buildings and search them for stuff, and then say, hey, do you have do you have like a vest or a level 2 vest or whatever? And because I already have one, there's another one over here if you want it, so you just basically communicate and kind of you split up initially to load up on weapons, and then kind of try to get back together to help out each other out. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with it. I really did enjoy it a lot. So I do think it is a better game, just like Fortnite, to play as a group, as a team or whatever, just because it's like everyone kind of was, and I don't know if maybe every single mode that you pick, like when you pick duo mode or whatever, if that's everyone is teamed up with someone. I don't know for sure how that works, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. So and like I said, it seems like they fixed a lot of the issues that we had been hearing about. At least I didn't experience any. So like the only thing there, like my friend, when I was playing on my friend's Xbox, like a little like symbol would pop up saying that there was like a slow internet connection or something. And I don't know if that was due to us both playing on the same internet connection or what, but even with us both playing on one internet connection, I really didn't have much problems. So like lag or any of that kind of stuff. So I mean, it really seemed to be working pretty well. But and then also I played a little bit of Call of Duty World War II, and I'm really enjoying that game. It's like I haven't enjoyed a Call of Duty game in a long time, and I really do enjoy that game. And I really like how they set it up, and like the weapons and and the attachments and things. Like that's the thing that I missed in with Battlefield 1, is they didn't really have anything for attachments in that game, because they tried to make everything like feel like just bare bones, like try to make it really feel like it was during World War I or whatever. So yeah, that was fun. And then the big game, I stuck like 6+ hours into playing the Sea of Thieves beta, and
yes,
that game is fun. Like I'm hoping that this is like moving forward, that this is the like how it's gonna be, but like I feel like everyone that I like, because a couple of times when I played it, it was just me, and I teamed up with 3 other random people, that were playing or whatever.
Yeah.
At first, and I got teamed up with people that, like, right off the bat, the first guy group that I got teamed up with, the one guy's like, hey, I've been playing this for a little while. He's like, because I was asking a question about something, like how you do something or whatever, because it took a little bit to try to figure out, like how to do everything and how everything works. And, I just mentioned something, and one of the guys on my team said, "Hey," he's like, "Well, like we're kind of in a safe place right now. Like, do you want me to go over stuff with you?" And just like he basically broke everything down, like how to do things, and and like how to like what ropes on the boat you use to like turn the sails, and which ones you use to raise and lower, or lower and raise the sails, and like like went over all the things, and like was basically telling me how you read your maps, and and how everything works, and everyone that I got teamed up with, that I played with, just seemed to be really cool about it, and like have fun, and like just all around be good about it, and not just screw around and kind of just be a jerk about things, because unfortunately a lot of times when you're playing multiplayer online games, you can run into some real losers. So
Yeah.
so I have nothing but good things to say about like that part of it. The whole like playing with other people has been a very enjoyable experience, and I'm hoping moving forward when the game like is released that it kind of stays that way. And I have a feeling just the way the game is that I think it will kind of get rid of those people that just aren't fun to play with online, because like it's such a team experience. Like you really have to work as a team if you want to be able to enjoy it at all. So if someone just goes on there and thinks that they can just screw around and not, do anything with their team, well, first off, they're just going to get left behind on an island or whatever, because we'll just be like, hey, you want to go off and screw around and not work with us, then so be it. We'll just take the ship and go, or whatever. But if let's say that does happen, like if you have some guy who decides to be a jerk, and, we're off trying to find the treasure, and he decides to just take the boat and leave, well, they're like, once you're far enough away from the boat, you can go in the water, and then there's usually like a mermaid or a merman floating in the water holding like a lantern. And if you go up to them and press X, then it will transport you back to the boat wherever it is. So that,
Oh, wow.
they kind of built in, they kind of thought of everything really. Like it's just such a well done game, and they've kind of thought of like all scenarios. Like part of the game, part of the mechanics of the game are also like a survival game, where like if you get hit by like cannons, or you run into the rocks too much with your boat, you can rip a hole in the side of your boat, and then you have to fix it. And so like you've got like a certain amount of materials on your boat that you can use, but as you use them, they run out, and so therefore you have to either like take out other ships and steal their materials, or you can find like randomly there'll be like birds flying around in a big group like in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And that usually means that there's like either a shipwreck there, or like there can just be like random big cluster of barrels of materials floating out in the sea, and you can just like throw your anchor down and then just jump off and grab as much of the materials as you can, and then bring them back to the boat and fill up your barrels of materials on your ship, so then you have more. So like they've really did a good job making it like where you have enough materials to survive, but they also make it accessible to try to find more if you start running low. And so like the one of the guys that we were teamed up with, he didn't want to play like the way you're supposed to play, and like he just started like wasting our cannonballs, just shooting at like nothing. for no reason. And so you can actually go into your menu, and then you click on there's a thing in your menu that says crew, and then in there it shows you the name of all the people in your 4 party, and then you can all vote to lock them up in the cage that's down in the bottom of your boat. So we all voted to lock him in the cage because he was wasting all of our materials until he calmed down and started playing correctly. So he's just down there playing his instrument, playing music, because you've got like a little guitar type thing and an accordion that you can play. You have certain tunes you can play on it.
Yeah.
So he's just down there in the cell, locked up in the cage, just playing music. And then eventually he's like, "Hey, let me out." Or we're like, "Okay, are you gonna actually help us out and not waste our materials now?" And so then he finally did play good with us, and actually help us out. But it's just things like that are just hilarious, and it's just so good that they kind of thought of those things to kind of make the experience like that much more fun. But
that's fun.
yeah, and as far as like doing the treasure hunts were a lot of fun. Like, I mean, they weren't super like difficult, but I mean, they are, you kind of, once you start a mission, you are kind of out for the long haul. It usually would bring us to, like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 islands. Mind you, they were kind of, usually fairly close in proximity. But what's nice is you have these islands that are kind of like, it's a safe haven or whatever, where you could go there, and then there's shops there that you can, so like, to kind of, I mean, I don't know how it's going to be in the full game release, but like, we, one of the things we wondered about was, how was your customization of your character going to be? And as far as the beta goes, the way they set it up is you've got shops, kind of like Destiny and stuff. You've got like shops everywhere for certain, each kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, you can go to the one shop and you can buy, costumes for your character. And then you go to the other shop and you can like upgrade like your shovel, so when you're digging up treasure, it takes less scoops into the ground to dig it up. Or like, one of the guys that I was playing with the other day said that the compass that you start out with, if you're in a storm, like by a lightning storm, because they have some really cool looking storms that are happening on the water, like when you're driving through the water and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, if you're in a storm, your compass will actually just start spinning around and like not be accurate because of the electrical storm going on, from the lightning and stuff. And so you can upgrade your compass to combat that, so it doesn't like screw up like during storms and things like that. And then like they had a gun. It was called the Blunderbuss or something like that, and it's a shotgun. So, but like, the basic guns that you start out with are a pistol, a sword, and then a sniper type gun. Like, that's a musket. Like, and all it is like a little glass. Like, there's not much for like a iron sight or a reticle or whatever. It's just kind of like a cracked piece of glass. So I'm guessing in the full game they'll probably have like upgrades of a lot of those guns, like if you want a better sight on it and stuff like that. But yeah, and then let's see what else is like. There was the sharks and stuff. You like, there's sharks in the water and things like that. But that safe haven, anyways, where they have the shops, and then there's a guy that you can go to, and that's where you trade in your treasure chest, and then that converts into money that you get for your character to use to buy things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also buy, like, you go to him then, and then you use that money to either buy, things for your character, or you can buy new objectives, like places to go, treasure maps you get, or you get some of them are treasure maps. It will be like a picture of the island and then have red X's on it, and then you've got to go on the big map down in like the first floor of the boat. There's a big table that's got a map thing on it, and then you can kind of use your triggers and joystick to kind of zoom in and out and move it around and try to find the island that you're looking for, and then you can kind of mark it. And usually then what you'll do is like have like someone will sit at that table or whatever and kind of like look at the map and then say, hey, you need to go southwest, and then whoever is driving the ship then can kind of know which direction they got to go in and stuff like that. And so you kind of all have to work together, because then one person's doing that, one person's driving, and then you've got to have people constantly, tilting the sails to try to catch the wind in the sails so you can go faster. And, like people that try to, like, if you get the holes in the bottom of them, then you got to like bail water out, and we had to do that quite a bit. It was funny, we could not for the life of us figure out why our boat kept on filling up with water, like down in the bottom, even though all the holes had been filled up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out one of the chests that we picked up had this like a woman's face on it, and it was called like the Maiden of Sorrow, I think it was the name of the treasure chest.
And she was crying.
Yeah, she would cry every once in a while. So then that water from her tears was going into the bottom of our boat, filling it up. So that's why our ship was filling up with water, and we couldn't figure out why it was filling up with water. And so like, yeah, there's really unique treasure chests. Like there's one that when you pick it up, you get all like drunk. Like the screen starts like wobbling, and like you can't walk straight when you're carrying it until you drop it, down. Like once you set it down, then you go back to normal. But when you're carrying it, you get all drunk and you can't walk forward. So like you're trying to stumble around and bring it back to the ship. So seriously, that game is so amazing. Like they thought of everything. Like there's just so many like unique things to it that just make it such a fun experience. And like I'm definitely looking forward to playing it with you guys.
So the delays, it seems like the delays was worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that they extended the beta for until Wednesday, I think. So
okay.
Now,
well, thank you.
I do have. Go ahead. Sorry, I have like one question though. Only thing that like really concerns me, and like I heard this on a couple other shows, and like I'm really looking forward to Sea of Thieves, but it doesn't really seem like there's ever a safe space like a tower in Destiny, where there's like not anybody really attacking you. And like in Sea of Thieves, it seems like people can shoot you while you're at a vendor, or shoot you like pretty much anywhere, like if you're not like looking out. Did you experience anything like that within the beta?
No, I think from what I understand right now, I believe the way it's set up is, I believe there's 4 different factions playing on the map at once. So like, I don't know what that's going to mean going forward when you want to play as a big group of people. If like you're going to just be able to like kind of each have to have your own ship and like kind of move in a convoy. Like if it's only going to be 4 people per ship. And then if you're in a party, then each like let's say you have a party of 4 people, you would each have to have your own ship. I don't know for sure how that's going to be, but I think they kind of are trying to make it where there's not too much going on one map at once, for that reason that yes, you can run into each other at any time, and yes, you can get attacked while you're at places bringing stuff, but I think they're going to try to do it in a way that not too many, like it's not completely saturated to the point of where you can't do anything without getting killed all the time and, never be able to get anywhere.
Okay.
So I think that's basically what they're going to do to combat that like whole thing is that they're just going to try not to saturate the maps with too many people. So they'll just have a lot of like lobbies, like you would have in a Call of Duty game or whatever. There's one map with 4 different sets of people or whatever, and then that way it's not too many people that you're having to deal with all at once. I mean I don't know for sure how exactly they're gonna do it moving forward, but as of now, I mean, in mind you, I'm playing at like 1:00 in the morning or whatever. So I mean, who knows how many other people were in the same area that we were when I was playing, but we did run into other ships, at times, and have to shoot back and forth. And usually, a lot of the times, people don't want to risk it if they have a bunch of stuff on their boat. They'll fire at you and they'll try to do some damage and then usually run away because they don't want to risk it. Yeah. But but if you're like us at the time and you don't have any gold or anything on your ship anyways, and you figure, well, hey, no, you're not going to run away from us, and then
give me the loot.
But yeah, it. I don't know, the way they had it set up, it didn't seem like saturated, and it seemed to be just fine. So
okay, I don't mind I don't mind other people like chasing me down while we're out in the open sea, and like I get that's the game, but like my only concern was like I've been hearing that even when you're just in like vendor areas, like people can come up on you and attack you or whatever, and it's just like that. I feel like there should be like at least one sort of like safe space for you to go, but I mean, that's not going to prevent me from like getting the game and enjoying it or anything. I just
I think the idea is like as a pirate, that's just like the way it would be, is it would just be kind of relentless.
Right.
But I feel like though at the same time, again, I think a lot of people are gonna kind of be respectful at that situation because they also as well have stuff to lose.
Right.
And I'm sure you will have people that will try to attack you, but at the same time, I don't know that it's going to be common. Like, there will always be those people, I'm sure, but I think everyone's like, we've sailed this far and we've got to this point. And like I was kind of touching on before, like that's the nice thing is like when you're in the middle of a voyage or whatever you want to call it, like if you go to the second or third stop of like the 4 or 5 places that you may need to go to finish the objective, you can at any time, if you found a bunch of chests, you can bring it to one of the safe and that's the thing, there's a couple of islands that you can trade them in at, so it's not just one place.
Right.
So that also like makes it so like you may not be going to the same island as someone else to turn your stuff in. So like you can bring it in and turn it in though at any time that you want, and then go back onto your boat and continue. And then I guess one other thing too to touch on that I didn't really get talk about was like when you die, you go, like we seen in the previews, you kind of go on this ghost ship, and then like you wait a little bit and for it to load, and then like there's this door on the boat that kind of busts open, and then it's like a big portal, and you just jump into the portal, and then it will respawn you back on your ship. So like, and like if your ship breaks and gets destroyed, you can find one of those mermaids in the water, and you can go to it, and then it will respawn you back to a new ship, and then you just have to start all over again, going to wherever it was that you were going, but it still continues your mission. So like they made it where, you know, it's not like all hope isn't lost. Like once your ship is gone, you just kind of have to start, you know, back wherever the ship, you know, has to respawn. So it's just more ends up being more of an inconvenience, you know, but it's not completely, you know, over. So
Jesse, we're gonna have to pause for a minute.
Okay.
And I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go. My mom wants me to see something. I'll be back. So,
okay.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Let's talk about Ed. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, it's such a fun game, though.
Is it better? Is it better than your experience with like Destiny so far?
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, like that's kind of like the thing they're going for, right? Is like this is going to be like their Destiny, kind of.
Yeah, and it's hard to say like what they're gonna do moving forward in the full game, like. But I mean, like as of now, you know, it's fairly basic, but at the same time, it's, you know, it's still fun even though it's basic. But I feel like, you know, it's kind of like every other game. Like when they come out with the first game of their franchise, it just kind of is basic, and then they, you know, that gives them more to improve and add on in the next game moving forward. You know, after they find out how well it's going to do in the first place, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so far, I mean, I can see it being a lot of fun playing with friends and stuff. So
nice. Yeah, I'm definitely like I know it's coming to Game Pass and stuff, and like I was thinking about signing up for Game Pass anyway, but I really just want to get the game and just play it. You know, I wanted to do the beta, but like this weekend for work was so busy, I just didn't.
Yeah.
And by the time I mean, like technically, it's what, till Wednesday you said, but
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I guess I could still play it tomorrow and Tuesday. But.
And the only problem is like to finish a complete, like the very first objective that we had. Because like when you start off, when you go to the guy on the island where you trade in the treasure chests, he gives you one objective that's free, and that's your kind of your starting off one. When you're new to the game, you get to do that free one first.
Right.
And it took us to like 5. It was either 5 or 6 different places that we had to go to before it was done. And so, like, I'd say it probably need to at least invest 2 hours or so. You know, like, I think it probably took maybe about an hour just to, you know, do all the different island stuff, not including, like, you know, fooling around and, you know, how long it takes you to find the treasure chests and stuff like that and figure out the puzzles and all that. So I'd say probably a good 2 hours to really get a full experience of it, you know, in one sitting. Right. So
yeah, maybe I'll download the beta tomorrow while I'm at work, and then try something tomorrow night or Tuesday if I can. Like I'm really looking forward to it, and the more and more I watch, the more I get excited to play it. man, I want to play it now.
Okay, are we? I'm sorry, guys.
No, he's not. Ed's not.
That's all
sorry.
right.
My mom was calling me to watch something, so I had to go. When you're living in her household, you do what she says. I'm a good boy. So. Okay, let's get back to the show. So, anything else, Jesse? About Sea of Thieves? That's it.
No, I think I think that's pretty much it. I just had a lot of fun, and like I said, I think like it seems like a lot of the people that were on the beta that I played with, and complete strangers, they're all pretty cool to play with, and I just kind of hope moving forward that it stays a positive online experience, because that ultimately is what can make or break a game. I feel like a lot of times these days. So
Okay.
that's about it, I think.
All right.
Now here's,
Well, we're
here's the real question. Here's the real question. Do I get this controller?
Yes, you do. I want to get it too. I actually am thinking about, after I get my one of my friends the Christmas gift, I think I might actually get save up for that then and get that, because I still need a new controller too, because like I got my Titanfall 1 controller, but it's the old school one that I have to use the adapter to be able to plug just the regular headset into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to get a newer one and have a wireless one that I can use for that. So, and not have to have that adapter to use my headphones.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get to Arsenal news right now.
An hour in.
Yeah. And so we're going to start off with this. One of the big headlines that for Microsoft this year for right now is that Xbox Game Pass is going to include some of their exclusive titles on release date. A significant change is coming to Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass with the announcement that subscribers will be able to access Microsoft Studios' Xbox One exclusive titles on their release dates. The first new release to be included is the upcoming Sea of Thieves, which is coming in March. Other games will include State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, and though they're going to be part of the Game Pass lineup too. Phil Spencer revealed the news on Major Nelson's blog, where he alluded to upcoming and unannounced entries in the Halo, Forza, and Gears of War series, which are also going to be included in Game Pass. Spencer also outlined details about a new Game Pass subscription card. A 6-month subscription to the service, which includes complete access to more than 100 games, will be priced at $59.99. But this has brought in some controversy to it. It seems that a particular Australian retailer will be dropping Xbox Ones because they're cheesed off over Xbox Game Pass. So they're not really thrilled about it, but the Innsbruck-based retailer, let's see what their Gameware will no longer sell Xbox One consoles due to the Game Pass offering Microsoft Studios has announced. So all the systems will be discontinued through their store. Gameware has stated that they had no reason to continue selling Microsoft consoles, as doing so brings zero merit and only expenditure if Microsoft afterwards wants to profit from the marketing of the software only. Who wants to do business alone should do the work alone, the retailer added. If the quote seems a bit disjointed, it's due to Google Translator. Why? So it seems that Gameware is not going to carry Xbox games or the systems because of Game Pass.
Bye, Felicia. I don't. Just people just stop, giving them business. Then screw them.
I mean, look, go ahead. never even heard of the store, first of all, and I know it's an Australian retailer, and it's like, well, I live in America, I don't care, but at the same time, it's like, look, it's not like they announced every game was coming to this platform, and you're mad because, like, the 4 or 5 games they put out every year, you can't sell those copies. Like, what are they getting off that sale? Like 20%, I think. So, like, is 5 games a year really gonna make or break your sales of an Xbox? Like, right. I feel like if 20% off of 5 games, 4 or 5 games a year is gonna mess up your books, like, maybe your business has bigger problems than.
Yeah.
Right, and they still would have got some money because people would have came to them to still buy the physical game if they don't got Game Pass, or even buy the subscription. They make money off of gift cards, so why would they just like drop it? They think, well, Microsoft could do the work. If they want this, they could do the work alone. Microsoft been doing that system, Xbox system. They're the one that's paying for the marketing for the game. Heck, they're the one that's making the game.
Yeah,
they gotta try to make money back. Like, GameWare's not making the game.
I mean, at this point, it's like, look, if this is one retailer out of the whole world, but I mean, like, hypothetically, if bigger retailers started following suit, Xbox or Microsoft has a online store. Like, you can just buy the Xboxes straight from them. So, like,
that's straight profit for Microsoft.
Yeah, it's just like, look, I mean, I get it. I know people like to walk into stores and buy the item and carry it out, and, you know, maybe kids want to look at it in the car on the way home, or you know, parents want to go in and buy it at Christmas time and put it under their Christmas tree or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, Microsoft has a store where you can just buy it straight from them if retailers don't want to carry it. And, you know, maybe that would hurt sales of the box initially, but once people learn, like, okay, maybe someday Sony will have an online store and they'll be able to buy PlayStations from their store, or, you know, people already buy PCs and PC parts online for gaming, and, you know, 30 years down the road, when people have been doing it for so long, Nintendo will join the club. But you know what I mean? Like, I just, who cares at this point? There's so many different ways to buy the boxes now. And at that point, will we even have boxes? Will we just have apps on our TVs like they've been talking about for so long? Will we just have, like, you know, will Game Pass be on PC? Will Game Pass be other places at this point? So, I don't know. Like I've said a lot. I don't know if I probably said it on the show. Xbox is about their service, and it's not about the box you play on. It's about being in their ecosystem. It's about having Xbox Live. It's about being subscribed to Game Pass. You know, they're trying to get you in the door as a service, and Microsoft and Xbox Live are a service. It doesn't matter the box you play it on anymore. You know, so
right.
I mean, if they lose in a sale on a box, somebody they're gonna buy a box somewhere else or play on their PC.
Right. So regardless, Microsoft is still gonna make money, and it's weird that just like you said, Corey, like the 4 or 5 games compared to all like the third party and indie games and stuff. And I know you, Jesse, you find it valuable to you because, you know, you're a family that's on a budget, you know, trying to make things work, and it's good for you because you get a lot of games to select and play. But you're playing like a lot of old games and not the new current games on it. Like, you like, oh, I just got DMC. Well, DMC kind of came out like, what, 3 years when Xbox One first came out. Like, that stuff is like old, so you're not playing anything like consistently new from third party or indie. You're playing like old stuff.
Yeah, and like, you know, but at the same time, it's kind of nice that like it's still like I'm gonna play Gears of War, I'm gonna play Halo, I'm gonna play those games, and I don't know moving forward if they're gonna still include the complete editions, probably not. I think that's where Microsoft's gonna end up looking to kind of make their money. Is, you know, you might still have to pay for the season passes. I don't know.
Yeah, but even if you're playing Halo, like even if you aren't interested in Crackdown or Sea of Thieves or State of Decay, or even if you're just a Gears player or just a Halo player, like this service being on there, like, yeah, they're gonna probably increase their microtransaction thing, which, like, look, they already said all the content in Halo is gonna be free for like from the future on, in Halo 5 and beyond, you know. So like, say Halo 6's content is free, like their maps are free and stuff, they're gonna nickel and dime you for rec packs. Plus, like, if Halo is the only first-party Microsoft game you buy and you're subscribing to the Game Pass, you're still giving them $120 a year, regardless. Yeah. And if you're playing online, it's going to be $180 a year. So, like, that's $180 that you're giving them for one game already a year.
And it's not guaranteed that game is going to be up for forever. It has a limited time slot.
Well, I'm pretty sure, like, most of Microsoft's first party games, they're gonna try to make sure that they're on that service forever, you know. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's only a couple situations where the games won't be on there, like Alan Wake, for example. You know, they lost the license to the music that's in that game, so they can't provide that game digitally anymore. And, you know, probably older Forza games have some licensed music in it, I'm sure. But, you know, you can always, I mean, Alan Wake's a special case because the music has so much to do with that story and those moments. But, like, you can always replace a soundtrack in Forza, or you know, if Gears had a licensed song, you could always replace it. You know, Netflix does that stuff all the time. I was watching, before they took it off, I was watching How I Met Your Mother, and, like, I was noticing songs in there that I have on GarageBand and on my MacBook. Like, they replaced licensed songs with songs from my
generic
MacBook.
Songs.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's not a big deal in terms of, like, development and stuff. And if they're smart, like, when they did this service, they'd probably be smart enough to be like, look, we need to make sure, like, these games can't come off this service anytime soon, which is why you don't see any Activision licensed stuff on there, which is why you see a lot of older third-party stuff on there. So, I mean, look, if these retailers want to stop selling the box, that's fine. People can get it their own way, and, like, Microsoft is smart to get you in the ecosystems. You know, you're already paying for Xbox Live. Now you're going to be able to get into the service with this subscription. And, you know, not to be like companies are greedy, but companies love the subscription model because people lapse on subscriptions all the time. You know, magazines, music, stuff like that. And, like, look, even if you don't turn your Xbox on for a month, that's still $10 you're giving them, right?
Right.
And so maybe they're probably counting on people signing up for the service for a month to try out these games and then just forgetting about it, because $10 a month is, you know, in the grand scheme of things, really isn't anything. You know, that's like a 12-pack of pop or something a month or whatever, you know. So
I have a feeling that they're going to change their mind sometime down the line, because it's going to be like they're going to have customers asking them about Xbox who don't follow the news.
What I was thinking, like, to that point, like, if you're trying to monetize your game, like, they're gonna leave the base game on the service, and you're still gonna have to pay for the expansion packs or something, like Jesse said earlier. But, like, and then if you're playing Halo and Gears, they're gonna monetize you through skins and weapon skins and characters and stuff. So.
Before you get to your point, Jesse, I'm just saying GameWare is they're going to not look at Game Pass, but I think when they get of customers coming in demanding that they wish to purchase Microsoft's products from them, I think GameWare is going to change their mind and be like, okay, we got to get this contract with Microsoft again, but it might be too late. Who knows? Of trying to sell their system and their games and stuff. Because I'm like, now that you're cutting out Microsoft, it's I don't know how Nintendo and Sony are strong enough in that store, but they might just put a dent in their business if they rely on all three parties to make profit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think bigger companies are gonna. I don't think like GameStop's gonna stop carrying Xbox. It's too popular, you know. I don't know what this retailer situation is or whatnot, but like, I mean, if like you're gonna get rid of a console because you're not gonna be able to sell 4 or 5 games, I think your business models probably needs to change, you know. So
yeah,
that's just me.
That's the thing is that I feel like in the grand scheme of it, like this is just bad service on this seller, this company's part, that like you kind of like you said, like this isn't really ultimately gonna damage them much at all, I don't think, because there's still too many people who are gonna want to get the digit or the physical copy of it, because they're like, hey, this is a new game, this is something new. I don't know for sure whether it's going to be something that I'm always going to play, so I'm going to want to have a physical version of it to sell, or like I don't know that I'm always going to want to pay the $10 a month to have the service. So once the service is shut off, I no longer can play that game. So I want to be able to have it, so no matter what, I can play it. Or like just playing it, like let's say one of the games you want to play it, but you don't want to connect to the internet. Well, if you're not, if the internet's not connected, I'm guessing you can't play that game, that's through the service or whatever. So, I mean, there's still a lot of reasons for people to want to have physical copies of a game, and for you to just say, oh, well, we're not going to offer that to them anymore because now they have another way that they can get that game. It's like, that makes no sense. It's just, like they don't belong in the business then. They should just go away.
Well, they should have been out of business because of digital purchases. Because Microsoft offer the play anywhere mentality, that if you buy it digitally on Xbox One, you can play it on PC. Well, there's people who don't want to put their credit card in. So what if they came to your store to buy the Microsoft points?
Yeah.
And now they can't buy. They're gonna take their business somewhere else. So that's $20 to $60 whatever denomination they want. I think it's that that they want. They're gonna go somewhere else and give them that money to buy it because they don't want to put their credit card in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I agree with you both guys. I think it's stupid on their part. Let's see how it affects the business, if they regret it or not in the future. But yeah, I think it's a good deal for people who probably don't even have a lot of places or have to drive far to even get some games. I think this Game Pass is a good service for them, where they get a lot of selection of games, and pay the $10 if they can every month. I mean, this is a good deal, and they're getting free new games, so that everybody has a chance who owns an Xbox be able to play that new game. Yeah. So we're going to actually move on, because this one threw me literally for a loop. The Square Enix is getting the Square Enix Adventures game is getting their own adventure developers. Yes, everybody. People from Naughty Dog, Visceral, Sledgehammer veterans have been recruited to the Adventures project. So it seems that that's pretty good that former Naughty Dog, Visceral, and Sledgehammer are coming up to do it. Crystal Dynamics has assembled its own heroic team of 15 industry veterans to help develop the Avengers project. Former Naughty Dog creative director Sean Escog is the creative director for Avengers, and Stephen Berry, who worked for 27 years at Visceral Games, is the director of production. Escog was the creative director and wrote Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. At Visceral, Berry was director of product development, among other roles, and worked on franchises such as Dead Space. Other new project members, from artists to engineers and animators, come from AAA studios such as Monolith and Sledgehammer Games, as well as people who worked on Batman: Arkham Origins and Star Wars Battlefront. Not many details have been shared about the Ventures project since last year, but Ron Rosenberg, co-head of studio at Crystal Dynamics, says the game is something that can be played for years to come, and the studio has made tremendous progress. Whew, that's going to be like literally amazing, and I feel like they're going to stick. Well, not so much Sony. They're going to stick it to Sony. I think they're going to stick it to EA. Big and Activision.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like this Avengers project. I mean, it was announced last year, and a lot of people were wondering what was going to happen to Deus Ex and Tomb Raider, and we're getting a Tomb Raider sequel. That's not a secret. They tweeted it out. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is the worst kept secret in the industry right now, I think. But in a game I think we all desperately want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like they're really building a team here because they've got that Disney money. Why not throw it around? The Avengers is huge, and it's going to be in the cultural zeitgeist for the next probably 15 to 20 years at least. So, why not get the best talent and make sure you have a quality product and make sure that this legacy that Marvel's built in the last 20 years now, or 10 years, with the movies and really making it a prominent part of pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Why not build a team of developers to come in and be like, look, we know what we're doing. Let's make the best possible thing about something that everybody loves.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm excited for it, man. If it plays anything like Tomb Raider, you could do so many different things with Avengers, and I know it's probably going to be some sort of co-op multiplayer sort of kind of online style game, but
mm-hmm.
There's so many cool things you could do with that, mechanics and stuff that you could pull from Deus Ex and Tomb Raider. Man, I think the Avengers project's going to be really cool, and I hope it does well for them because I love Crystal Dynamics. I think they do great work, obviously, in the Tomb Raider reboot that they've done, and even before the reboot, I thought those games were, at the time, they were good Tomb Raider games. So we'll see, man. I think it's exciting to see these people and pulling. I think getting I forget his name, the guy from Naughty Dog that they just pulled over from Lost Legacy, I think was a great move in terms of design, and that was probably one of the best designed games under a year. Say what you will about Uncharted, but using that game's engine and developing a game in less than a year, pretty much a full-fledged Uncharted game in less than a year, that's outstanding.
And literally, Dead Space could almost be a carbon copy of Uncharted. So so Sean could go there and look at Visceral and be like, okay, you guys made Dead Space, so you know what you could do. We know what you could do. We can help you guys improve on the games that y'all made, that y'all used to make, and incorporate it into this adventure game.
Yeah. So,
and Sledgehammer, with their run of Call of Duty games, they know how to do some action and some online functionality, so they could work some good maps and stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's gonna be cool.
so I think this might be first must have that I don't know, even though I don't know what the game is going to actually be.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the idea of having like a really, really cool, like Avengers or, just like a superhero game, like where you've got, multiple characters that you can play from in it, like, because really, like in a lot of the games, I mean, I guess you had like those, the MMOs or whatever, where it was different superheroes and things like that. But I would like to see like a real like a big title game, like where you can kind of play as the different characters and I mean, I couldn't think of a better company to be producing, a game like that. And like, cause with them, they're going to be really good about doing like a good story and like, I'm definitely excited to see what comes of this. Cause it really sounds interesting to me.
Yes.
So,
Well, I have a feeling we'll see it. We'll see it earlier before our last topic, because BioWare's Anthem got delayed to 2019.
Good. Good.
uh, we're still trying to figure out the next Nintendo Direct. So, uh, this story is kind of quick. BioWare's ambitious multiplayer co-op shooter Anthem is now set for 2019, according to a report from Kotaku. The change date comes in the midst of a deep dive report of the new game from the Varnell studio. The article talks about the immense pressure the developers are under to properly deliver the game, which is apparently BioWare's most ambitious project in the studio's history. The game started in pre-production when Mass Effect director Casey Huston was heading the title before leaving in 2014, returning last year to lead the studio as a whole. Yes, Corey, I 100% agree with you. Good.
My only thing is that it's EA and they work on fiscal years instead of creative projects. And the first thing, like, this game, like, the rumor is, I mean, I don't want to like spread rumors or anything, but the rumor is that like this is a make or break game for BioWare, and if BioWare doesn't deliver, they're toast. Like they're done. And I don't want to see that because I love Mass Effect. I think, Dragon Age Inquisition was a good game. Like there's a talented studio there, and this was my fear when EA bought them when they were developing Mass Effect 2. And EA bought them, and EA had just shut down a studio, and then they purchased Visceral to make Dead Space and Dante's Inferno because they wanted a God of War competitor.
Was it
and then
not was not Paradigm?
The team that was doing. It was I know who it is. I can't think of it though.
It starts with a P.
Yeah, it does.
Because they made that
they made time. Wasn't it the Time Splitters team that they bought?
No, they made that
Oh, they were doing the Star Wars Battlefront 3 original Battlefront 3, and they bought them and shut them down. I think maybe I'm just remembering this wrong. I don't remember, but anyways, like they shut down studios after they like run them into the ground, or they turn them into support studios for Call of Duty. Like, when was the last time you heard from High Moon Studios, who made those great Transformers games, like the Cybertron Transformers games? When was the last time you heard from Raven? What, when they made the Wolverine game for the movie, like, and then they shut down Visceral because the Star Wars project wasn't, on time. And, like, I get it. Like, studios have some internal dilemmas and stuff, whatever. But, like, I am so scared that BioWare is going to be shut down because I like BioWare. I like Knights of the Old Republic. I like Mass Effect. I like Dragon Age. Like, I would hate to see a studio, and there are people that love that studio for BioWare before those games. It's like, I don't want to see a great studio shut down because they can't make a deadline because of this super ambitious project that EA needs to take on Destiny. Like, that's not how it works, man. Like, you got to give this game time, and I think Anthem could be great if BioWare was given till next fall, maybe. You know, I would love to see this game compete with Destiny in the fall of 2019. But
So Corey, pandemic.
that was it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, like, I would love to see them go head to head with a Destiny expansion in 2019 that fall, and you know, it just sucks that they're like on this deadline, and I don't want to see what happened to Mass Effect Andromeda happen to Anthem because they're on a time crunch and they make them use an engine that's not made for the game they're making, and you know, it's look, I don't want to bash companies because at the end of the day, it is a business. But at the same time, there are businesses who do things right and still make the money. Like, you look at Rockstar, they make one game every 4 or 5 years, and it's huge because they take the time to make the games that.
It's not even that though. It's that 2K is not involved. 2K is not putting their greedy hands into the development of a Rockstar game because people, the CEOs and them at 2K don't know how to make a video game.
You're right. The difference between EA and somebody like Rockstar or even Ubisoft at this point, you know, it's these companies that are putting out quality games are run by artists and you know, professional designers, whereas EA is run by suits and shareholders, and that's what's going to be the downfall of BioWare. And I don't want to have to do this show, you know, a year from now, 14 months from now, and we're talking about BioWare shutting down because Anthem didn't deliver.
And I don't think it will be. I think that's going to be the problem. Is that it's not going to be us gamers, and it's not going to be BioWare. We're going to realize that EA's hands been in this game. Oh, go ahead, Jesse.
Well, and I was gonna say, but you know, I feel though at some point, like, you got to ask yourself, would it be better if they got out of the abusive relationship with EA and went somewhere else?
I was thinking the same thing, Jesse. You know, where, like, what if they shut down BioWare, but then like the people who are the head of BioWare open a new studio and become independent again, and then become the BioWare of old?
That's what's going to happen. We heard a lot of stories of people who had their studios closed, and then 4 or 5 months down the line, they have reemerged with their own studio, or they left that studio and reemerged as a new studio. Like, look at the people who made BioShock Infinite. Like, when they left there and they got closed, they went and formed their own independent studio, and that's what everybody will want from. BioWare. They were just like, if Anthem doesn't sell and they get close, we still want you guys to make another game, but we don't want you to be under the monarch of EA, because we'll find out if they leave in the old folks of BioWare made a new studio, and they was publishing their own games and developing, people are going to jump on them and make them money because EA is not connected to them.
Yeah. And I understand, like, a lot of old BioWare is gone, and a lot of the team that we liked from Mass Effect 1 and some of those older games are gone. But, like, Casey Hudson's still there. A lot of that core team, like, is still there, and it just, I don't want to see people lose their jobs because someone's being greedy, you know? Like, it's just not, like, it's not fair. You know, and it sucks because, like, this industry is so, we love this industry so much, but, like, it's so unstable in terms of like jobs and stuff. It just sucks to see a studio that is great lose out because somebody's being greedy at EA.
Yeah. And I just feel like none of you, them studio heads at EA can't do anything, and I hate to say this, but Nintendo. They cannot be Nintendo because even though there are some head people at Nintendo who are CEOs and stuff, they have helped make games. They have helped market games. They have pitched ideas. They have their heads in Nintendo games that has been a success because they took part in that from the time that they started into where they got in now. You like even look up at what Kimishima did.
I mean, you
like
even
oh, go ahead.
You look at like you even look at Activision too. Like Bobby Kotick came from selling like potato chips and laundry detergent to run Activision because he knows how to sell products in bulk and how to market products to people who need to buy a lot of product. You know, like he didn't come from gaming background. He came from running potato chips, and it's just like they get these people in there, and that's why Activision, like, you know, I'm not counting Blizzard in this because I think Blizzard is on another level in terms of development.
Right.
But like that's why they only have Call of Duty and Skylanders like every other year now, and you know, now Destiny. Like they put out like 3 products a year because it makes them the most money with the least amount of quote unquote effort. You know? So
right.
It just I don't know. There's studios that do it right. I think Ubisoft does a lot where, like, yeah, they have their games of service, but their portfolio is pretty diversified in terms of what they put out. Nintendo, Blizzard is, like, the other one I like to point at where, like, they have these quality games that, you know, yeah, maybe they're not full $60 releases, but they offer you things like Overwatch is a great example where, like, it's a $40 game, and they do loot boxes the right way, you know, nothing affects gameplay, nothing affects, like, it's all cosmetic stuff, and it's a fun game. It's a very high quality, fun game that's not broken. So
right. So,
yeah, I think.
Go
Go
ahead, Jesse.
I was just gonna say, I think the thing is, you know, it couldn't be more obvious that EA seems to only care about money, and all these other people that we're talking about, like Nintendo and Ubisoft, they're in it for the legacy. Like they you know, want to make a name and be proud of the products that they're releasing, and not just be you know, look at games as another way to try to make more money. And you know, and that's the thing is, like, it doesn't take much to just, you know, have respect for the people who are making games and trying to make you money. And it just seems to be that EA doesn't understand that, you know, back and forth respect, you know, between the people who are trying to do these things that you don't know how to do, that are making you the money. You know, it's unfortunate, and that's why, you know, you hate to see it go, but sometimes it's like how much of that abuse and that like neglect or whatever you want to call it is worth you know, the money that you're, you know, and at what point do these people that are working for EA lose interest in what they're doing because they're not really getting to really enjoy it the way that they maybe would like to be, you know, doing what they do, you know. So
I think I can answer a little bit of that. Most of the studios at EA is not DICE.
yeah,
You literally see how much love that DICE gets from EA. Not talking about their sports games. I'm just talking about everything else. And I think what EA's relationship was with BioWare when they did Mass Effect 2 started off good.
Yeah.
But then down sometime down the line, all of that changed. And I think for us is that we will really be hurt if something happens to BioWare. We're already it's crazy that people already have concerns about what's happening at Respawn.
Yeah,
You know,
because they're in the next studio. If Titanfall 3 doesn't perform, like, they're lucky they have a Star Wars game in development, but at the same time, it's like, if Titanfall 3 doesn't perform, what happens to Respawn? Are they're just going to be, I mean, they already went through this whole thing with Activision. Like,
right.
I mean, this is technically their third time around. Old EA kind of screwed them out of Medal of Honor, so they went to Activision to make Call of Duty, which was, essentially the same game, just in a different, like, it's just that they made a competitor to Medal of Honor, and then Activision, tried to screw them over again, and now they're back at EA doing Titanfall. So, yeah, I mean, I like Respawn a lot. I like Titanfall. I wish, like any other game, I wish I had more time to play games like that. Like, I wish I had more time to spend in Titanfall, just like I wish I had more time to play Halo and Overwatch and stuff. But, like,
right. And, like, as for me being an Xbox player, I really wish Microsoft would have bought BioWare and Respawn. I literally thought.
I mean, I know, like, I really think Microsoft should have bought BioWare back when Mass Effect 1 was back when Mass Effect was exclusive to Xbox. A lot of people forget Microsoft published Mass Effect 1, and that was
Microsoft published a lot of BioWare's titles.
Yeah, like they published LucasArts technically published Knights of the Republic, but Microsoft helped fund that game, and
right. They published Jade Empire.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, it's man, I can't believe they didn't buy BioWare back then, but, like, now I could see Microsoft, like, I'm kind of surprised Microsoft didn't try to buy Respawn, except for the simple fact that they already have a first-person shooter franchise, 2 of them technically, if you count Perfect Dark, but, like, I still think Perfect Dark is going in a different direction. I still feel that way. At least I want to.
Well, I sometimes I wonder if, though, maybe what happened with Respawn is Microsoft maybe seen that that Titanfall had a lot of had a lot of ambition, or just was going to be a good game, and they maybe, like, wanted them to be able to sell the game on all systems and make more money off of it. Like, because, I mean, sure, I'm sure, like, part of them would have loved to have grabbed them and picked them up and it only be exclusive to Xbox. But at the same time, like, I feel like maybe they just wanted them to be able to make more money.
Well, it was the fact that Respawn had that Call of Duty attachment to it, that the makers of that Call of Duty franchise had left and now were making their own game. And what better way to get people who love the Call of Duty franchise, let's get them on exclusively to Xbox, because we got the original developers. We don't got no copycats or people from other developers trying to make a similar Call of Duty without it being from the actual developers. So Microsoft jumped on the name thing, in my opinion. And I think because it not having no single player, Respawn just kind of had to learn. They didn't know that, they're thinking that first person shooters, because it was such a big genre and it was guaranteeing people sales. Microsoft, just like you said, Jesse, probably thought that they would get more sales from that way. But for something to be multiplayer online and that kind of getting old and boring, like with no new updates and stuff, people were just like, well, why? What would be the purpose? Because if I'm a person who loves first person shooters, but when I play a single player campaign, I can't play it on this game.
Yeah.
You know, the wall running is fantastic, but that's one part of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, everybody, we did have an Arsenal exchange, but I think we've been going a little bit longer, and our title and our kind of question kind of was already discussed when we talked about the Game Pass thing. So we're gonna let you guys go. We hope that you guys.
I think we should save that exchange for an expansion pass for a future.
Yeah, that would
pass.
Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea to do that.
We need to record some of those soon anyway.
We'll do that later on this week or sometime because it's late.
Yeah.
So Jesse, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at @sub_humanist.
Corey, we can find you at.
You can find me at CoreyNHD on Instagram and what's that other one? Twitter. Yeah.
Yes. You guys can find me on Twitter at @RetroCode. You can also check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. We do have a winner for the expansion pass episode, but you guys will have to wait and see who our winner is. But we do want to thank you guys for sending us your questions. And when we give out that winner episode, you will know who won. So thank you guys for tuning in. You guys can email ArsenalX at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook at ArsenalX on Facebook. ArsenalX Podcast, or ArsenalX Facebook page.
Facebook.com/group/ArsenalX Podcast.
Sorry, I gotta get that down too. We do have a Twitter at.
I like how Ed apologizes to me like I'm gonna beat him up for getting it wrong after the show.
because you know what the bad thing, I let Corey do all the plugs for this stuff, even though I'm supposed to be the host and I'm supposed to be doing all of this stuff.
I mean, I don't even care at this point. I'm so tired. It's like 2:00 in the morning here. And this is the third podcast we recorded today. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So follow us at Twitter at ArsenalX Podcast.
Yeah.
Or just ArsenalX.
At ArsenalX
Podcast. Yes.
Also
follow
on
us.
Instagram, by the way, too.
Oh, Instagram at ArsenalX Podcast.
Yeah.
I will have more of this down, everybody. I apologize. My mind is focused that I did notes and I didn't do no kind of thing for plugs. I am getting better. I am learning. I am supposed to be a professional host. Sometimes professional hosts make mistakes.
Hey, you know what? I need to be better on social media. I haven't been doing great in posting and groups and stuff either.
Yes, everybody, please check out the trailer that Corey has posted out. Give you an idea of who NGR Nerds Gone Radio is. We will be posting it again in our Facebook page. And if you guys like it, subscribe to our Nerds Gone Radio on YouTube. And also, if you want to share the video also in your groups, share. Show them our content. We welcome all you new listeners and all you new viewers. We're trying to get to 500. Thank you, everybody, for helping us to get us to that 100 subscription. Give your side.
Yeah. We can now say you can follow us at youtube.com/NGR Radio. Yay.
Another plug.
Well, it's better than just search this on YouTube. We might show up. So
yes. We do have an Arsenal X community also on Xbox One. So we're gonna try to get that more posted up too. Because we do want to play with you guys too.
Halo and Sea of Thieves, definitely Sea of Thieves. We are going searching for crews, so come join the Xbox community. I'm super excited for that. Especially to start streaming it. So so twitch.tv/NGR Radio. We're gonna stream some Sea of Thieves and stuff. So
Yeah. So with that, everybody, as always, we gotta throw up the X one more time. I like that, kind of like the crossbones. Yes. Because we're about to exit out here on Arsenal X. Have a great night. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, whenever you check this podcast out. And with that, everybody, we are out. Woo. Peace out.
Bye.